everybody. Welcome to Build a Quilt. I'm Diana. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today, I am coming to you with a video that's actually answering a question from one of our viewers. I love those the most. So you can always send me questions. I'm happy to answer those. First of all, let me share with you just for a second, what is Build a Quilt? So you see two beautiful blocks right behind me. And those blocks are made with a 5x7 embroidery hoop on my home embroidery machine. That's what Build a Quilt is all about. That's why I created it, because there are a lot of quilters out there who maybe have had trouble with their hands. Like I've had carpal tunnel surgery on both hands. I right now have tendonitis in this wrist. So repetitive stress can be difficult. So in the hoop works great for that. But really why I created it was I had a bunch of embroidery friends who would not quilt with me. Isn't that sad? They wouldn't quilt with me because they love just doing embroidery. They said, we're not quilters, we're embroiderers. You figure out a way for us to do it this way and we will. And they had tried. There are ways to do embroidered blocks that look like they're patchwork and they're gorgeous, but that's not what Build a Quilt is. Build a Quilt is real live patchwork. Looks like you've done it by hand or by sewing machine, doesn't matter the technique, but I like to call it 21st century patchwork because it's the 21st century. Come on, we all know that. But doing it in the hoop takes care of all those little precise things that kind of scare people away from quilting. I've been a quilter for over 55 years, and I know back when I started with my grandmother and all the ladies and all that she quilted with, the first thing I had to do was learn how to do a 1/4-inch stitch by hand. Nightmare for me because I'm a lefty and my hand stitching, I will just admit it, looks horrible, at least to my eye. I mean, and I'm not exaggerating, it looked horrible. My stitches were all slanted instead of straight across. Bless my grandmother's heart, she had real patience, but she had raised a whole passel of kids, so maybe that's why. But I'm the only lefty in the family, so she sat down with her little granddaughter and she helped me figure that out, and I've loved quilting ever since. So I learned how to digitize, and I knew how we created patchwork in other methods, so I tried to figure out how can I do that so that my embroidery machine takes care of all those precise nitpicky things like the 1/4-inch. Do I need a 1/4-inch foot? You don't. All of that stuff gets built into a digital file. A lot of our subscribers and folks that quilt with us are much younger than me, and I love it. That means more and more people are going to be taking this beautiful art form into the future with them, and I love that. So that's what Build a Quilt is. Again, you only need a 5x7 hoop. The stabilizer we use, which is plenty strong, don't worry about it, is Washaway stabilizer, the kind we use for freestanding lace and embroidery. And when you wash it away, you don't have any stabilizer staying in your quilt, adding bulk in the seams and bulk and weirdness on your top. Once it's all washed away and ironed out, your quilt top looks beautiful. So that is Build a Quilt. Now, on Wednesday nights, we have Wednesday Workshop Live from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And there are so many of you that will not talk during Wednesday Workshop Live. There are some of you that have started to really do, and we're building such a great community that way, and you guys are getting to be friends, and I love that. But some of you are shy and don't like to talk. I get that. I mean, believe it or not, I am kind of an introverted, shy person. That's why my grandmother and my aunts and all got me involved in like children's theater and stuff to help. They thought that would help me. It didn't really, but whatever. I still love the theater. But you will send me questions, and I love getting your questions. And one of our newer quilters sent me a question Thursday morning, I think. And her name is Joanne. I'm not going to tell you. All I'll tell you is she's from the west coast of the country, or somewhere out west. That's all I'll say, because I don't like to give private info out. But her question was a great question, and it wasn't one that I had thought of. When you quilt a long time like I do, you tend to build up a scrappy fabric collection. All of you that have been quilting for a while realize that. But when you start out, you don't have that scrappy collection because you don't have a big stash of fabric or even a little stash of fabric typically. And her question was, Diana, I really love the look of the scrappy quilts and things that I've seen on your site, but I don't have fabric. How would I go about buying fabrics to make mine look scrappy? Isn't that a great question? And I had not thought about that, but there is a couple of things I can share with you that will help you out. One, go to the fabric store and go crazy, just buying any fabric you like that you love, just grab them and do it. You know, that could be a way to do it. But interestingly enough, this week, now let me just say here, I am not supported by, I don't do this for payment or anything when I talk to you about any designer, any collection, any store, any product. Okay, I don't do that because I'm going to give you my full, honest to goodness thoughts about things, and I don't want to feel like I need to skew them at all. So I know a lot of you know who the designer Lori Holt is. Lori is, I don't know her personally, but from what I know of her, she's a lovely woman and she's super talented. And I love her fabrics because they remind me, here's a brown one, but they remind me of those little calico prints and things that my grandmother and I used to get when I started quilting, or prints that were on old dresses or skirts or shirts and things like that that we would cut up for our quilts. And I love it. And Lori has come out with a new collection called Colors B Bundle, B-E-E Bundle, limited edition. And I had ordered for myself the half yard bundle because I love her fabric and I love having it around so I can mix it and match it with other things. So a few other designers whose collections look similar. So a lot of times I can mix them together to get just what I want for something. And so this, I just opened this collection up this morning and this was it. The half yard bundle, that's 21 yards of fabrics, my friend. Okay, that's a lot of fabric there. I can do a lot. I will do a lot of quilting with that. 21 yards. This is, it might be a considered purchase. It was about $260 some for this collection with the half yard, but that's a good price when you think about what fabric is per yard. So it also comes in a half yard bundle, but it comes in something else. It comes in a fat eighth bundle. A fat eighth is, I believe, 9 inches wide, and then the width of your fabric. Those little collections are great for starting a scrappy collection because you get all the different colors and you get just enough of them that you can use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so they're a great way to start a scrappy collection. In fact, sometimes when I see a fat eighth bundle and I think, oh, I like all of those, I can put that with this and this with that, I will grab it and I will just put it in my scrappy bins to start off with. It's already cut down to that 9-inch width. I know I can cut it into smaller segments if I want to. And if you have done any of our mosaic patchwork, which requires little scrappy pieces, then a fat eighth bundle is great. But what I love about this particular collection of Lori's, collections from designers usually have a specific large design, then they have that as a smaller design with things mixed in with it, and then they'll have a blending fabric and a solid and lots of beautiful things, but they're all in the same color family, which makes them, that's what makes them a collection and beautiful. They're all centered around a subject, a certain flower look or an animal or, you know, Christmas trees, snow, whatever it happens to be. But when they're worked together scrappy, they still look like they're all from the same collection, which is fine, but it doesn't look truly scrappy that way. But this collection, I was noticing, that looks scrappy. Choose any of those you want and put them together this way and that. I haven't looked through quite all of them yet, but I'm not sure that there are any repeat designs in here. That might be why it's limited. But these are all kind of what you might call blender fabrics, which I love. I'm not wild for myself personally on my quilts being all solid, although I think solid quilts are beautiful. I like these little blenders or prints that read as solid because they add texture and movement to a quilt. And I just love them, but that is certainly a personal thing. And so when I saw this, I thought, this comes in a fat 1/8 bundle. That would be a perfect way for Joanne to start her little Scrappy collection. Now, one fat 1/8 bundle isn't going to allow you enough fabric to make a quilt. You might want a fat 1/4 bundle. That's like 5 1/4 or so yards of fabric. You could get a nice throw out of that. This 21 yards, I could make a couple of quilts out of this for sure. But as I cut this to use it for blocks and things, I know these will go into the scrap collection for other things. But as a curated collection of fabric, this works great as a full-on starter pack for scrappy quilting. So Joanne, I hope that helped you out. This again is called Colors B Bundle Limited Edition. Now, I will tell you honestly, I purchased mine through the Fat Quarter shop only because I have 2 shops I can shop at. They're both 2 hours away. So because I live in a rural area, a lot of times I have to order. And so I ordered this from the Fat Quarter shop. And I know I feel at ease about ordering through them because I just know that they are a good company. But I feel at ease about ordering Lori Holt's fabrics because I've used them enough to know that they're good quality fabric. I don't ever have to worry about that. Now, I'm not telling you to order from the Fat Quarter shop at all. If you have a local shop that's in your community or an online retailer that you use all the time, then support them for sure. And I think that Fat Quarter shop would tell you to do the same. It's always best to support local, I believe. But if not, I know you can get this over there. Because it's called limited edition, I don't know if it's going to be a one run of the fabric and done or not. Sometimes that's what makes it limited. It's a one and done. Fabric lines used to always be that way for a while, one and done. And then now they've started doing more reprints because people were getting a little crazy about not being able to get some fabrics before they sold out. So that could help you, Joanne. And also, if you find little fat 1/8 sets, grab the ones you like and set them aside and start building that scrappy collection. Start putting them together. So all of you know that on November 13th, we're starting our year-end Quilt Along. I'm so excited about that. And there are 2 color collections that I've chosen for us to make it with. I will attach at the end of this video the prep video for that Quilt Along. It tells you about both color collections. It gives you dates, and the pattern is now available over on the website as well. But I will hold this up real quick. So let me get the one last color here and just put these kind of in a one collection is created based on 3 aqua colors, a light, medium, and a dark. Okay, woo. Let's get, there we go. So this color here is called Royal Icing. It's not white. It's not cream. It's that, I call it candlelight because it reminds me of when I walk into a church for an evening wedding, or my husband takes me to a nice restaurant for dinner and it's all candlelit in there. That's what this soft color reminds me of. I don't like to use bright, vivid white a lot, but when I go for white, this is what I go for. This is a Kimberbell Silky Solid, by the way. And then it is based on, this collection is based on these 3 fabrics, a light, a medium, and a dark. And in that other video, I tell you exactly the name, and in the pattern and all, you get the exact name of the fabric. And so you can use those in your quilt. And then there is a yellow and kind of a tomatoey red. The other collection, which is all solids, because I know some of you love solids much more than I do, but I have to say I kind of love this collection, is based on these 3 plum colors, light, medium, and dark plum. These fabrics are also all Silky Solids by Kimberbell. Okay. And then it has a golden color with it. And instead of a red, it has this really beautiful gray with it. So when you put, and it also has the royal icing with it too, because there are 6 colors in each one. I'm trying to put this together in a lineup here so I can show you. That's the other collection. Okay. So more about that in that other video, which is attached at the end here. So please check that out and get your pattern over at the website. But both of these collections, if I wanted to do them in a more scrappy way, I went through this collection by Lori Holt. I could do either one of those colorways. So another question that some of you had Wednesday night was, if I want to use my own fabrics, what would I do? Well, you need a kind of a tomato. If you're going to use the aqua set, you need a tomatoey red. So go through your fabrics and choose a tomatoey red. Any fabric you love. This is one from the Lori Holt collection. Very similar in value. That's what I would use. That's what I would replace that with. And then just choose the colors. Choose your light aqua, your medium aqua, your dark aqua, or your light medium or dark plum from the fabric stash that you have at home. That way, you're still getting the right colors, but you're doing it all in fabrics you already own. And to shop your own stash, for those of you that have fabric, is a great idea. All right. I'm not telling you to go out and buy fabric. If you have a great stash and you can shop it, do it. But you could, if you had this bundle and you wanted it to look more that scrappy, more that calico look, that this bundle alone in the half yard bundle would do it for you for sure. All right, folks, I hope that helps you. Like I said, on November 13th is when we're starting our Quilt Along, and the pattern is available right now over at my website, www.mybuildaquilt.com. You can find that. If you are brand new to patchwork in the hoop and the Build a Quilt system, check out our free download pattern over there called the half square triangle. The half square triangle is the most often used block in patchwork. In fact, this is a half square triangle right here. Half is one fabric, half is the other. You can see that is also a half square triangle, but the fabrics are a little bit different. So try that out. It shows you the method on how patchwork in the hoop gets made. And once you know that, there's no reason you can't make any of the blocks that we're going to be making for the quilt. So you can join us on the 13th when we get started. And that will start on our Wednesday workshop live, November 13th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have questions about anything I've explained today or anything about the Build a Quilt system, please contact me at support@sewincommon.com, and I will get back with you either right away. If it's in the evening or we're gone, it's the weekend, it might be the next day, but I try to at least acknowledge that I received your email to say, hey, I need to look this up, or I need to get back with you in a couple days if it's the weekend because I'm not here right now. That sort of, I don't have access to stuff right now. Anything like that, I will let you know as soon as possible. So you're not sitting around going, did she get my email? Didn't she get my email? Why hasn't she answered my email? So I try to be really on top of the emails. That being said, I do want to make one little comment about comments here on the YouTube channel. YouTube has recently changed how we see things behind the scenes when we load stuff. And for some reason, for about the last 4 weeks, I have not been seeing my comments. And yesterday, I believe, or Thursday, it just so happened I clicked some button that I hadn't seen before, and all of a sudden, this whole big pages of comments popped up. And I went through and I answered them all right away. And I apologize that I had not answered those that commented, because your comments mean the world to me. They inspire me. They give me ideas, things that might need to help you, questions that I can answer for you. So I do apologize for that. It was just something that, because the way we used to look for them was still there. I didn't realize this other little button had changed and they had also moved them to there for new ones. I'm still a little bit leery about if I'm catching them. So if you have sent in a comment and it's been 2 or 3 days, send me something at this email and let me know, because that will tell me that for some reason I'm still not getting my comments. And I'll talk with YouTube about that. I think it's just, it's probably me and I'm not understanding something, but I will do my best to get that taken care of because I love your comments. And then, so the website and the comments. And if you're brand new to Build a Quilt and you haven't joined our Build a Quilt community yet, please click on the subscribe button and the little bell to set your notifications, because I would absolutely love to have you as part of the community. And so would all the other 500,000 people, because you will then have over 500,000 friends that want to quilt with you. Isn't that exciting? You guys have blown me away. I didn't ever think this group would grow this quickly and this fast, but I certainly am thankful, and I enjoy every single moment I am with you. Every single moment I'm creating stuff for you as well. Alrighty, so subscribe, like, and share. I love that. And thanks so much for watching this video. And again, if you have a question, let me know. I could do a video for your question, or we could answer it on a Wednesday night, anything like that. Until next time, everybody, as I always say, go quilt life beautiful, because that's how quilters send their love out into the world, is with the art of their quilt. So go quilt life beautiful. Bye for now, everybody.